Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 NGC review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Pikmin 2, which if you've never played it before, it's obviously a sequel to Pikmin. It's almost like a real-time strategy game, I suppose. It's a very odd one to describe. This video has actually been a long time coming because I've been meaning to do it for ages with Pikmin 3 coming out, but I kept asking for it and I never got the game because it's no longer mine, it's my little brother's because he got addicted to it. Unfortunately, he got addicted to it after I gave up playing it, so I've never got to play any of the two-player modes because I couldn't go back to it, and I've only gone back to it now because I'm incredibly anal, and if I'm going to review the third game, I should probably do the second game. So at the start, you've got begin, two-player battle, options, high score, and bonuses. Bonuses, I'm honestly struggling to remember what they are. I think it is just literally the cinema and things like that, the videos. High scores, obviously high scores. Options wise, you can do a few things but not much. It's literally like language, rumble, sound, just things like that, and you can save those settings as well if you want to, which I don't really know why you'd need to. And it's probably just as well that you don't need to, because I've just realised I've got the wrong memory card in and it's not got enough room for any data on this. Right then. Two-player battle is simply a versus mode. From what I can gather, it wasn't particularly very good because my brother did actually play the game with his dad and played it a lot, and they liked the co-op aspect, but they really didn't like the multiplayer aspect. I really wish this would just let me play the game because I don't need to actually save. So yes, continue without saving. This is the problem with when you're trying to talk and concentrate at the same time. When you're running on very little sleep, you end up doing the little things wrong. Basically though, the reason I haven't set up a file or anything is not just because I didn't get the game until about a day ago, and what we're having Pikmin 3 in my possession already. I'd much rather play the third game rather than the second game because I really didn't enjoy the second game. The main reason, I suppose, why I didn't enjoy this one is the fact that they removed the time limit. There still is a timer on the game, and basically, for those who played the first one, will instantly know. For those who don't and are just getting into Pikmin and are wondering, the whole point with Pikmin 1, you crash landed on a planet, your ship was totally bust. You had very limited supplies, so you have to get your ship built back together within 30 days. The faster you do it, the better ending you get, and if you can do it in, I think it was 15 days, so it might be 14, 15 might be the limit for the second priority, then you'd get like a really good ending. And it did mean, therefore, that you only had 30 days to beat the game, and every day was therefore precious. If you wasted a day, you didn't get it back. It was as simple as that, and the days don't last all that long. Pikmin 2, you've still got the time limit of every day not lasting that long, but you no longer have a time limit. You can literally take as long as you want. You can do like hundreds and hundreds of days if you so wish. And by removing that one simple thing, it totally ruined the game for me because there was no urgency, there was no difficulty. There were caves that were hard to get through because you had to manage your resources well enough, but because of that timer, it just meant that if you failed, you could just go back, restock, and do it again, and it really did kill the game for me. They did add a few things to this which do make it better, and it's a shame that overall I think it's a worse game that's not really worth playing, because one of the things they add is another player. They add Louis, and basically they allow the game to be played two-player co-op, and it does actually work quite well because you can both take a certain amount of Pikmin and then you can walk around and you can set up doing two things at once, and it does work really well. They also added some new Pikmin types. They added the purple Pikmin, which basically they're big, bulky, heavy Pikmin, so they're much more powerful, but they're also much heavier, and it basically means that you don't need anywhere near as many of them in order to do certain puzzles. I mean, you've already seen us throw Pikmin on here, and it said I had 5 of 15. If I had the purple Pikmin, I wouldn't need anywhere near the 15 limit. They also added white Pikmin, and white Pikmin were like poisonous, so if they got ate, then it was like a defense mechanism, and it was just rather cool to be able to almost kill yourself, sacrifice soldiers pretty much, in order to actually beat the game, and like beat certain sections, and it did work really well. But the only real difference between Louis and Olimar, if memory serves, is that it's just one's taller and one's got blue and one's got red. I don't actually think there were any differences in the ability. I don't think that one was faster than the other. I could be completely wrong in remembering it incorrectly. It was a very long time I played it. I mean, it's 9 years old now, and I did stop playing it after about 3 months. Because I eventually got to the point where I thought, well, what's the point? There isn't any real challenge here for us, because I can just keep going back. I'm getting a little bored, so I'll just give upward. And it's a shame, because as I say, those nice little additions of being able to play co-op and the new Pikmin types, it done so much right, but it done that one major thing wrong, and it ruined it for us, and it really is a shame. Because I've already mentioned kind of the story of Pikmin 1 and the whole point with you rebuild your ship, this one, it's that when you get back to your planet, you find out that your company's gone bust. So it's actually quite evil and malicious, because you then go, well, hey, I've just been on a planet where I've got like an infinite slave workforce. They're incredibly gullible. They do anything I ask. They even die for me with absolutely no reward whatsoever. Let's go and use them to savage their planet and to ravage their natural resources to save our planet. Pikmin is actually quite evil when you think about it. It really is sadistic and just vile. How the hell this only manages to get like a 3 rating or something, you know? It's just mental when you think of it in that context. Considering everyone calls Ninty kiddie, I really don't see it if you play Pikmin. Graphically, the game is quite good looking. Well, I say it good looking. It was good looking at the time. Quite frankly, I have just literally came off playing Pikmin 3. This game looks like crap in comparison to Pikmin 3. Musically, it sounds really good, and there is some nice music and background music, and there's some charge music and that. Control-wise, the game works really well, and it's something I'm actually going to mention in my Pikmin 3 review, and I'll mention it here as well, because going from one to the other, the controls in Pikmin 3 feel off. They really, really feel off, and I couldn't place it. And as soon as I went back to this one, even though it's been 9 years since I played it, I instantly remembered the controls. I knew how to use them, I knew what I was doing properly, and they clicked like that. So I really don't know what the difference is, but in a 9-year gap and 2 consoles, the controls of Pikmin 3 really do feel off. And I think it's because so far I have not currently discovered on Pikmin 3 a way to attack with the main character, because you can actually attack on this by, I think it's pressing A. It was on the first one, I believe, and you can actually attack the enemies for you. I mean, it's one of them. I just haven't discovered how to do that on the new one. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. But the other thing is the C-stick, and you might be able to notice from the charge tune, I can't find any way to do what the C-stick does on this, because the whole point of the C-stick is when you've got 100 Pikmin behind you and they start really lagging behind. I mean, I'll just try, and there you can see instantly I've already managed to gain quite a lead. On Pikmin 3 you gain a lead even faster, and they do just get left behind, whereas on this one you can use the right analog, the C-stick, to basically tell them to move faster, and I've not found a way to do that yet on Pikmin 3. So I just thought I'd mention it on this review as well, because at least I've been able to go back and test the controls again and know that it's not just in my mind, it really is different. And I just couldn't really place why until I played one of the older games. There's not much else I can really mention about the game. It's not really the type of game that I can say it has this many levels or this many things. It's just a case of you've got a goal of a certain amount of coins to collect. Again, struggling to remember if it was 10,000, 100,000 or 1,000,000. It was something like 1 and a load of zeros. And it's just one of those things that, because you can just constantly replay areas and amass forces to go forward to collect the items to earn the money, there just really isn't any real point in actually playing this one. I mean, if you are an absolute mental completionist or something and you want to get the full story, then pick it up. But quite frankly, I think that you could honestly live with playing Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 3. I don't think many people would miss a night's sleep having not played Pikmin 2. There are some people out there who like it. I'll probably get absolutely slammed by those people. And I suppose the only thing I can say is the only real thing that this has got going for it is the co-op. And I will get into this a lot more in my Pikmin 3 vid, but I cannot believe in a game where there are 3 playable characters, there's no co-op. Pikmin 3 does take some quite huge steps backwards. It's one of those things though, rather than doing 2 reviews in one, I'll leave this as it is. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned pretty much everything that a beginner would need to know. I'm not trying to do the best review of all time with this one, I'm just completing my own anal obsessiveness needs. If anyone's watched Big Bang, there's an episode where Sheldon has to have things finished for him, and I am very much of the same mindset, I think. So that's basically what this is, to kind of tell you a little bit about it for those who don't know. It's basically saying what the whole gist is, what that added, what was took away from it, and what reasons there are to play it. So I think that is me done. And onto my Pikmin 3 vid, which will have probably a hell of a lot more detail and hopefully be a hell of a lot better a vid. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.